Hello my ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. So today, as you will have seen from the title, I'm here to do a unboxing and walkthrough of the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Now, herein lies the tale. So I've been aware of this deck for a while, and it was one of those where it's advertised on Amazon and Book Depository and everywhere else. And then as soon as the release date, which was the 25th of November for the UK, came about, they automatically went to unavailable and saying we don't know when we're going to get these in. It happens all the time with decks that come up for pre-order on Amazon in particular. Anyway, a couple of days ago, beginning of December, they appeared on Book Depository. So I ordered a set and it arrived today. However, imagine my surprise when I opened the box and found this very small, compact package. I didn't even know it came in this size. I've only seen it as the big box with the big book. So at first I was kind of like, oh, did I perhaps dream it that it was in a big size? But I've looked at a couple of walkthrough videos of this deck, and yeah, they're all big boxes. So just be mindful that it comes in two sizes. Now, the cards, I imagine, are the same, and I'm not too bothered. At first I thought, well, do I order it again and try and make sure I get the big box with the set? But with 500 and something decks, I'm really short on space. So actually, this is probably a better option for me. And to be honest, because the art style, the images in this deck is very closely resembling Pixie's RWS artwork, would I really read the book? I would probably read the introduction, maybe, and there will be a smaller book, as you can see in here. I really like Los Scarabaeo's compact boxes. This is kind of like what they've been doing recently with things like the Radiant Wise Spirit came in a box like this, also things like Murder of Crows, etc. So it's really tough, nice and compact with this lid that pulls off. We have a little book here. I have seen other walkthroughs where it has a large book. I don't know if it's got the same amount of information. It's just compact. I would imagine that this is an abridged version. So there's 126 pages in this. It's only got, and of course it's Los Scarabaeo, so there's multiple languages. So we're going to have up to, say we, English-speaking countries, are going to have up to page 51. So we've got a little bit of information. But to be honest, I probably will never look at this. If I do ever get a big set, then I'll have a look at what the larger book has to offer. So these are the cards, and as you can see, it's a really thick deck. So I do quite like the Los Scarabaeo cardstock. Oops. I'm sure I just had an in there. There we go. It's a standard tarot size, as you can see. I love the backs, by the way. I really like these backs. There is a gloss to the card. It's not sticky gloss, but there is a gloss. They're not matte. But I really love these. It's got like the Star of David. And it's got this kind of grey and black pattern. It's really nice. I like backs that almost look a little bit plain. So this is the title card, the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Now, when I first saw this, I thought to myself, I knew there'd be another one at the back, so let's take out that one as well. We always get an advertisement card. When I first saw this, it kind of reminded me of a cross between the RWS and the Darkness of Light. And I mentioned that I can't remember if it was on a couple of catering cards I did, or it might have been in another chat like Becca's. And somebody said, that's not the case. But I don't know, it's reminiscent of Darkness of Light for me. But there is almost like a twilighty vibe to these images, but they are stunning. They are breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, look at that for a lover's card. How incredible is that? And it's so recognizable as an RWS deck, particularly when you get to here's our 5 of Pentacles, look. So yeah, it follows the RWS system, but it's beautiful, beautiful artwork. Look at the strength card. I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? So cardstock is fantastic. It's lovely, thick cardstock. If I compare this in terms of thickness and width, this is the CS Tarot, which is made by Make Playing Cards, which is a decent cardstock as well. You'll see the thickness, the difference. So it's a really nice, substantial deck. Will I edge it? I may. I'm just worried that this might bleed with this cardstock, but I don't know. So what I'm going to do for this, because the images will be familiar to us if we know the RWS system, is we'll have some music. You can have a look at all the cards, and then I'll share my thoughts at the end. Okay, so to talk about my favourites, I could have really shown the whole deck because they're all incredible. Just a few observations though that I just wanted to share. I love the fact that there is so much happening in these cards. I've actually just done 2 walkthroughs because I did a walkthrough and then when I got to the end I realised I hadn't hit the record button. So I've actually just done it twice. So what you've just seen is my second walkthrough of it. And even on that second walkthrough, I was spotting things that I didn't spot the first time. So you get the traditional RWS imagery, but there is so much more. There's so many little kind of shadow effects in the sky, in the clouds. This deck is rich in symbolism, and even in the title, as you can see at the bottom, we have the Fall, and then we have elemental symbols, astrological symbols, etc. So you can read this if you're into symbols and things like that. You can read this on so many levels, and it's just wonderful. I mean, look at the Hierophant here. We have the Dove of Peace. We have the Star of David. We have lots of geometrical sort of what's the word I'm looking for when the word escapes me, but sacred geometry. That's what I was thinking of. So there's lots happening in this. I love this Lovers card. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It takes the traditional RWS Lovers and wow, you know, you've got the Tree of Forbidden Fruit, the Tree of Light and Knowledge. It's just wonderful. The Strength card is stunning. One of the nicest and most beautiful Strength cards I've ever seen. We've also got the Serpent here, look, as well as the Lion. Love the Hermit. There's the 5-pointed star, also known as the Star of David inside the lantern, which we often see. I love the fact that this is kind of taken a very flat 2D image and it's given it almost like a 3D effect. I would have said it's brought the RWS up to date and it's a modern version, but the style of this isn't modern. You know, it's kind of a forgotten time, but somewhere in history. Love this death card. Look at the eyes on the horse. It's just wonderful. I love the towers and the setting sun, you know, which is there. That always reminds me of the Moon card. It's like the death card coming towards the Moon card. The Devil is great. We've got this Baphomet type devil here. You know, he's got the as above, so below. Just great. Here's our Moon card. And notice the creature here. A very traditional Judgment card, but again, it's just, I don't know, there's just something very 3D about this. It's got depth rather than flat images. I think this is a beautiful world card. Now, when we go to the minors, we get keywords. So I'm really impressed with Los Caribbeos because they used to have lots of multiple languages around there. Then they went to symbols, just having numbers and kind of symbols for the courts and the minors. But they're actually using a word here. You've got your associations here. So you've got the symbol here for woman, I should say. You've got Pisces, you've got the elemental associations here. So you've got water, sorry. Here's our 3, and it's abundance. So this would be a good deck for people who are learning to read the RWS. The only criticism I have is because of the font style, it's very faint. And it is quite hard. And some cards, just looking at the flip through, I've not been able to work out what it's saying yet. I'll have to sit down and have a good close-up look. So we have perfect success though here for the 10 of Cups, which is lovely. The courts, the page has been changed to princess, but we still have knight, queen and king, but the page is princess. And we have the two elements here of water and earth. But notice in the, and just like the Page of Cups, you know, holding a cup with a sea creature. This doesn't look like a fish, it looks like a little turtle or something. But the page normally in the RWS has this fish coming out. But look in the sky, in the clouds, each of the courts have something above them. I love this. We have harmonious change. But, you know, the Two of Pentacles is about we've got this Ouroboros here, but it's about that balance, and you've got the yin and yang symbols as well. I thought this was wonderful because this actually looks like it could be a beautiful photograph of something inside a glorious chapel. It's just really, it's alive. This image is alive. So it is quite hard to work out. So I think that's saying material work, which makes sense, doesn't it? Obviously for the Three of Pentacles. And then we have material gain when we get to the 9. Beautiful 9 of Pentacles. Princess, again, above the courts, there is something happening. Look at that beautiful stag at the top there on the Knight of Pentacles. Really beautiful. So we've got the creature here, but also above our king. Love this fiery Ace of Wands. Just look at the energy in that card. It's gorgeous. The 2 is dominion, and I love that keyword. That's why I think this is a really good deck if you're learning the RWS, because I haven't seen a keyword yet where I think, no, that's not what I would. Perfect example here, swiftness. Every time I pull the 8 of Wands, I automatically, it's the word that comes to mind, is swiftness. And then we have great strength for the 9. This is Wands, and then here we have oppression for the 10. Oppression or burden would have been equally great for me. Look at this. We've got this kind of lioness. And then the lion here for the king. Just gorgeous. Peace. 2 of Swords. Isn't that stunning? We have sorrow, which we automatically think of when we think of the 3 of Swords. And then we have ruin for the 10 of Swords. And I love our Queen of Swords, but you don't want to mess with her, do you? Look, she's actually holding somebody's severed head by the hair. So I really love this deck. I think it's a fantastic deck. It's amazing quality, borderless, lots of beautiful, beautiful images. Here's our 4. See, I'm not quite sure what that's saying. I have to have a close-up look. Blended pleasure, is it? Yeah, blended pleasure. It's just hard to make out because it's very faintly written, and with the cursive writing, and then loss in pleasure. So yeah, so this is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. It's by Jack Sephiroth. I think that's how you pronounce it. Jack Sephiroth. Be mindful, there are 2 versions. There's this compact version, which I have here, or you can get the big version with the larger book. Yeah, and as I said, initially I was disappointed, but the more I think about it, I'm quite pleased that I've ended up with this. I don't know if there's a price difference. I didn't really pay much attention to that, but it's nice and it's compact and it'll store nicely in my shelving area. And with it being so similar to RWS, I probably wouldn't use the book anyway. All right, guys, well, thank you for watching, and yeah, just enjoy the rest of your week. I will be back on Saturday for a cup of catch up in cards, and until then, look after yourselves, go in peace, namaste, and blessed be.